Good morning, guys. Today we will begin working with order of operations. And this is something you should have done in fifth grade. An order of operations is simply a list. That's all it is a list of steps. And the order of those steps we do in order to solve a math problem. So all we're doing today is solving just simple add, subtract, multiply, divide problems. But we have to follow this list of order of operations. We did this in fifth grade. I'm guessing your teacher might have used the same PEMDAS. And if you look at the first letter right here, every word, PEMDAS, PEMDAS is kind of an abbreviated way of saying order of operations. You might have heard of saying before, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That is a way of remembering what order the order of operations go in. And it's parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So that is the order in which we do stuff. We solve these problems. If you notice, I switched from red and blue except for here and here. And that's because multiplication and division and then addition and subtraction are kind of like a team. So we'll get more into that. But if we solve a problem and all we have left is multiplication and division left in that problem, or if that's the next step is to either multiply or divide, we work from left to right. And same with addition or subtraction. If that's all we have left, or if that's the next step of the problem, I work from left to right. But let's start off with something easier. Once here I have 10 plus 6 times 2. The way I do this is I go through my checklist. Are there any parentheses in this problem? No. Are there any exponents in this problem? No. Is there any multiplication or division in this problem? Yes. So I'm going to do that first. And when we do this, we need to underline the step that we're solving for. So my first step is to multiply or divide. So I'm going to underline the multiplication problem of 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, so I write down 12. And I copy down everything else that I haven't used yet. So I'd be left with 10 plus 12. Now that we only have 2 numbers left, I can simply just solve it. If not, I would continue down my order of operations. So 10 plus 12 is 22. So the answer to the first example, example A, would be 22. Let's look at example B. Before we do example B, we need to talk about something. I wish I could point you guys in the back of the room to those yellow signs again with invisible math, because we need to talk about some invisible math. Right here, we have a 3 touching a parenthesis, and there's no sign there. It doesn't say to add, to subtract, to multiply, or divide. Whenever we have a number touching a parenthesis, that means to multiply. So I can rewrite that problem as saying this is the same as 3 times 20 minus 4 to the second power plus 7. Oh, parentheses there. Plus 7. So this is the exact same as that. Whenever I have a number touching a parenthesis, it's the same as multiplication. Now I go through my checklist. Do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. I have 20 minus 4 squared there. So then I need to decide, do I do the subtraction first or do I do the exponent first? And to figure that out, we go to our list. What comes first on our list? Is it subtraction or exponents? It is exponents. So I'm going to do my exponent first. So I'm going to underline my exponent, which is 4 squared. 4 squared means 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm going to replace that 4 squared with 16, and then copy down everything I haven't used yet. So this is going to be the same as 3 times 20 minus 16 plus 7. Now I go back to my checklist. Do I have parentheses? Yes. Do I have exponents inside those parentheses? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? I do, but I still have to do my parentheses first. Like I know I see multiplication here, but I can't do this. I can't do that multiplication until I get rid of those parentheses. So I need to do my parentheses first, which is subtraction. So I know subtraction is way down here, but it doesn't matter because it's inside those parentheses. If those parentheses, if I get rid of them for a second, if they were not there, I would do multiplication first because it comes first on my list. But I do have those parentheses there, so that means I need to solve what's inside of there first, and 20 minus 16 is 4. So I'm going to underline what I'm doing, and I'm going to write down the answer. So now let's talk about those parentheses. When we have parentheses, we have to keep them there. So if these are my parentheses, and we say we have 8 numbers there, we keep them, we keep them, keep them, keep them, keep them. We can't get rid of those parentheses until we only have 1 number left. And since 20 minus 16 is 4, and that's only 1 number left, then I can drop my parentheses. Then I can get rid of my parentheses. Now I go back to my checklist. Any parentheses left? No. Do I have any exponents left? No. Do I have any multiplication or division left? Yes. So I'm going to do that next. I underline what I need to do. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down what I haven't used yet. So I'm left with 12 plus 7 and 12. I didn't need that mark anyway. 12 plus 7 is 19. So the answer to the second problem is 19. I'll write that just to make it easier for you guys to see. There we go, 19. So once again, I am just using this as a checklist to help me solve my problems. Okay, let's try a couple more examples. Maybe. There. And grab my red marker. Yep. And my eraser. There we go. So on this problem, it says 5 to the third power minus, and the way we read this is the quantity of 20 plus 15 times 2 minus 19. So step 1 is to look at my checklist. Do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. So I need to do what's inside there first. That's my first step, is to do what's inside my parentheses. And inside my parentheses, I have two options. I can either add or multiply. So let's look at my list. What comes first, multiplication or addition? Multiplication comes first. So I'm going to do my multiplication first. 15 times 2, 10, carry my 1, 30. So I'm going to replace 15 times 2 with 30 and copy down everything else I haven't used yet. So this is going to be the same as 5 to the third minus parenthesis 20 plus 30 minus 19. Go back to my checklist. Do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. I need to do that next. 20 plus 30 is 50. So I'm going to put 5 to the third power minus 50 minus 19. And if you notice, I dropped my parentheses because there's only one number left in there. And once I get down to just one number, I can drop those parentheses. So now I don't have any parentheses left, but I do have exponents. So I need to do 5 to the third power next. 5 to the third power is 125. And I can prove that by saying 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 more. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry my 2, 12, 125. So I'm going to copy down everything I haven't used yet. All I have left is subtraction, so I'm going to work from left to right. I'm going to work from left to right. That'd be 75 minus 19. And then 75 minus 19, borrow. Give me an answer of 56 over there. Okay. So once again, all I'm doing is solve this problem one step at a time and check my checklist one step at a time to see if I'm doing the correct order. That's why it's called the order of operations. Operations are these things. These are our operation symbols. And it tells us the order in which we need to do it. Okay. Let's go over to example D. It says 2 times the quantity of 35 divided by 7 minus 3 to the second power. So step 1 again is whenever we have a number touching a parentheses, I want us to rewrite that as a multiplication sign. So that's the same as 2 times parenthesis 35 divided by 7 minus 3 to the second power. So then I look at my checklist. Do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. I have all of this right here in parentheses. So I need to see, what do I have in my parentheses? I have division and I have subtraction. Well, what comes first on my list? Division does. So I'm going to do all my division first. Or not all my division first. My division step inside the parentheses first. So 35 divided by 7 would be 5. So I copy down everything I haven't used yet. I replace the 35 divided by 7 with a 5. Now I look, do I have any parentheses left still? Yes, I do. So I have to work inside my parentheses next. All I have left is 5 minus 2. So that's the same as 2 times 5 minus 3 is 2 squared. And I'm left with, if you notice that 2 was on the outside the parenthesis, so once I get left with just one number on the parenthesis, that 2 attaches to that number. Okay, that 2 attaches to that number. Now that I'm done with my parentheses finally, I look, do I have any exponents? Yes, I do. So I need to do that next. 2 to the second power would be 4 because it's the same as 2 times 2. And finally, 2 times 4 would give me an answer of 8. That is the solution to example D. So once again, using that checklist one step at a time, just checking it as I go. Okay, let's do the last two. We'll call this video done. I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed when these problems look long. There's nothing we can't do on these. We know how to do these simple steps. It's just making sure that we do them in the correct order. Okay, so now I have 7 plus 3 divided by 2 times 3 to the second power. So first step, do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. So I need to do that first. So 7 plus 3 is 10. So that leaves me 10 divided by 2 times 3 to the second power. Go back to my checklist. Do I have parentheses? No. Do I have exponents? Yes, I do. So I'm going to do my exponents next. Copy down what I haven't used yet. 3 to the second power is not 6. 3 to the second power means 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So now I'm left with 10 divided by 2 times 9. 10 divided by 2 times 9. So this is where we have to be really careful, because in our saying of PEMDAS, our multiplication comes before division in the same. And that's all it comes, that's the only time it comes before is in the same. They are a team. They work together. So when all we have left to do is either multiplication or division, I work from left to right. Cannot emphasize this enough. When all I have left is those two steps right there, I work from left to right. I do all my parentheses. I do all my exponents. And then I do all my multiplication and division together from left to right. And I do all my addition and subtraction together from left to right. So I'm going to divide here first. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Bring down what I haven't used yet. And 5 times 9 would give me a final answer of 45. So 45 is the answer to example E. Okay, last one, example F says the quantity of 9 plus 3 divided by 6 times 2 to the third power. Step 1, parentheses. Do parentheses first. 9 plus 3 is 12. Copy down everything I haven't used yet. Second step is to check my list. Do I have any parentheses? No. Do I have any exponents? Yes, I do. I need to do my exponents next. 2 to the third power is the same as 2 times 2 times 2, 3 2s. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the third power is 8. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Now I check my checklist. Do I have a multiplication or division? Yes. And I'm going to work from left to right again. 12 divided by 6 would be 2. And then 2 times 8 would give me a final answer of 16. So that is the answer for example F. So I cannot stress, guys, that follow these rules. That's the only way you'll get these problems right. I would, before I start my e-learning assignment, write down PEMDAS. I'd write down, at least write down PEMDAS. If not, write down parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Follow this list one at a time. That's all you have to do. And remember that multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction are a pair. They work together from left to right. I'd highly suggest also watching some of the YouTube videos down below, at least a couple, maybe a couple of the songs. That way it gives you more examples and maybe just pushes you more in the right direction. So if you have any questions, as always, contact me, email me, do what you need to do, but do your work hard, kick some butt, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.